Okay, about to watch The Dark Tower. We only read The Gunslinger, and I hear this is like a bunch of the books put in, so... Oops. Watching The Dark Tower. I watched it first, forever ago. I like that it told me what The Dark Tower is, because you don't really super find out what it is in The Gunslinger. Definitely needed to read the other books. I have to come over to my TV to see if I can figure out what the fuck is going on. They're doing some shit with kids. There's the man in black. I love that we're getting so much more of Jake, because he kind of was just thrown in the book. And I wish I knew more about him, and we're getting his whole backstory. This is so weird. They're supposed to be following a gunslinger. Okay, why reading the book did I think that Idris Elba was the man in black and Matthew McConaughey was the gunslinger? I really think it was because of their accents. And Matthew McConaughey has the cowboyish accent. And Idris Elba is just so much more, like, I could see him being really menacing and scary. I love this so much more. You're always told during an earthquake to duck and cover. At least that's what they taught us in elementary school in Washington. Yeah, there was just a little tiny earthquake and they just sat there and held everything in place. Like, that's all you have to do. Okay, Mama, this is where you stand up for your baby. You don't side with the new guy. They're just hunting children. I know that this is a different part of the Gunslinger book series, but it's almost like they didn't want to make the whole series into a movie. Honestly, if they didn't say Gunslinger and Man in Black, I would have thought I read a different book, because there's been zero things the same so far. The movie's literally talking about the Shine. It's not mentioned in the first book. And I know I googled. It's mentioned in the later book. Which made me sad, because we all know how much I love to connect all of Stephen King's movies to The Shine. Why did it take the movie for me to realize Jake had the Shine? I think it's because this book did not feel like a Stephen King book to me. I was like not picturing Stephen King writing it at all. But mind blown. The book was essentially boring for the first half of it. This is not like the book at all. Now I understand why fans of the book hated this movie. How far are we? 26 minutes in. Finally. Book matching up. This is one of the movies that's like very blatant about other characters having the Shine. They just keep talking about how big Jake's Shine is. His Shine is beyond anything I've ever seen. Literally just what I was talking about. Jake and Danny from The Shining should meet up, and they'd be like best friends. I bet. It would be pretty cool. And then, what's her name from Dr. Sleep? Man, they could just have a party. I feel like I would have loved the book so much more if Gunslinger went to America. Or the Earth. Maybe he does in future books, and I just might have to read them now.